Aberdeen did what Rangers couldn't do. 18 months ago in the Europa League final, they pumped Eintracht Frankfurt 2-0 at Pittodrie. Not that game was at Pittodrie, of course, that was in Seville, and that will be on later tonight as Rangers take on Real Betis. But what a result. It's a shame it doesn't really matter, but here.
Yeah, it does matter. It's a good win for a Scottish team. It's more points for the coefficient. Not just a win though, it's an impressive win. It's something that Rangers couldn't do. It's something that probably Celtic couldn't do, so I think Aberdeen deserve a lot of credit here. Beating Frankfurt's not for everybody, and it's a tremendous win. It'll be one of the best European wins that Aberdeen have had in, I mean, obviously years. That goes without saying, but this is probably Aberdeen's best European win in decades.
Yep.
The only other result that I can think comes close to being as good as this is the 2-2 against Bayern Munich at Pittodrie. Even though that was a poor Bayern Munich side, but still getting a draw against Bayern Munich is...
This Frankfurt team beat Bayern Munich 5-1 at the weekend.
Yeah, you got to factor that in as well. I think when people heard that, they just assumed that Aberdeen were going to get tanked tonight. So, no, I think this is not only... This is the best win, unless Rangers go to Real Betis tonight and win 5-0. This is the best win this year in Scotland for a team in Europe, and it's probably the best... I'd say it's one of the most impressive wins overall for a long time. The only one that comes I can think of is Rangers Dortmund. I think that was an impressive result for Rangers. But
yeah,
I mean, in terms of Scottish wins in Europe, this is the best one in a long time, and probably Aberdeen's best win since the 80s.
Ah, fuck it, I'd say so. I mean, obviously Rangers beating Leipzig. They get into a finals big, but I think you've got to bear in mind this is Aberdeen. You know, they're not on the level of Rangers and Celtic, and for them to beat Frankfurt, who are a very good German team.
And the thing is, so right, I'm not saying Frankfurt didn't have chances, and I'm not saying that Aberdeen at times didn't have their backs to the wall, but it's not as if they fluked this. I think they put in a very good defensive performance.
No, they did.
It's not like they were on the ropes the entire time. I think they've done a good job. I mean, Rue's made some really good saves, but I don't think they were lucky tonight. I think they took their chances when they got them, and I think they defended really well. So, nah, man, fair play to Aberdeen.
It wasn't a snatch and grab, and you know what? Stephen Kraken is on crack because he kept having a go at
Stephen Craigan?
Kraken, fucking pish, right? Because see what he was saying in that first half. Oh, they're sitting too deep. When Barry gets him in, the team top writes it. So what does he want Aberdeen to do?
If Stephen Craigan was the manager of Aberdeen, they'd have probably lost 5-6-7-0 tonight.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if a team of Aberdeen's quality goes toe to toe and fights fire with fire against Frankfurt, you're going to fucking lose.
What Aberdeen did is they parked the bus, right? They got a long ball forward. Duke played it out right, played it in 1-0. That's exactly what they need to do. And then the second half, when Frankfurt went for it, they hit them on the counter with a great ball over the top for Paul Vara.
And I tell you what, Aberdeen had other chances in the final third. Their final ball was terrible. So or else they could have scored a few more goals tonight. But I tell you what, his finish was great. I thought he'd skied it over, to be honest, but nah, great finish. And I think Aberdeen deserved the 3 points tonight.
They did. This should be the norm, though. I mean, this shouldn't be... I mean, obviously it's a great result, but it shouldn't be Aberdeen's best win in 30 years. It should be that's their best win in a few seasons. You shouldn't have to wait this amount of period of fucking time.
I also think what's disappointing is in the end, it's not that important. I mean, could Aberdeen not have got to tonight knowing that a win could have got them through? I think considering that the group in Frankfurt was the last game, I was expecting Aberdeen to get to the last game to have a chance of finishing in the top two. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I'm not going to say it was down to performances, because I think Aberdeen, I said last week, or the last match day 5, and I got a lot of criticism for it. I said that Aberdeen have been the best Scottish team in Europe this season, and people weren't too happy about that. But I think this win tonight, that without doubt confirms that they have been. And people will say, but Rangers currently have more points. It's not about the points. You've got to take into consideration level of opponents and the size of that club and the ability of that club. I just think when you look at the performances and results overall, Aberdeen have put in really good performances. Maybe not got the results they deserve, but tonight, this is by far the best result. So Aberdeen, I think, should have been second in this group. The Pack game, they were fucking robbed, no doubt about it, at Pittodrie. That they should have got 3 points from that. The Helsinki games, I thought they were the better side in both of them. I mean, maybe you can argue 4 points for those games would have been a decent tally, but they ended up only getting 2, which was disappointing. And then they got a draw against PAC away from home. So, and they were right in the game against Frankfurt in Germany and had a good chance to level it 2-2 in the 92nd minute. So, no, I mean, Aberdeen, realistically, I mean, they've been in every single game and they've only lost, one game?
Yeah, one game. The PAC.
Just too many draws.
Oh no, they lost 2 games. PAC and...
Alright, well, I'm not even... That PAC one's a joke. That doesn't even count. Alright, they've lost 2 games.
Yeah, we have to fucking count them.
Well, I don't think we should count it. That's a fucking joke.
See this logic though, if Rangers had a better one. I mean, if Dundee finished 4th in the league and Rangers finished 2nd...
Does that mean Rangers had a better season? Some people would argue that.
Undoubtedly, right? Rangers they're guaranteed European football, they've got more points, blah, blah, blah. But see, at the end of the day, Rangers are expected to get out that group. I thought Rangers would have walked it in terms of getting top 2.
I don't know, I did say it would be tight.
No, you did, but, see, at the end of the day, Rangers' performances were shit. See, they played a great 45 against Sparta Prague at home, but that was it. I mean, Aris Limassol, I think the performances against Aris Limassol...
In the first half against Prague away.
Yes, and also the Betis game wasn't that good. They won, but I mean, it wasn't that good. I think, to me, Aberdeen have been good in every game.
Yeah.
Rangers have been pish for about 75% of the actual time on the thing, but here, it's a results-driven business.
I would even go as far as saying Aberdeen shouldn't have been in this. I think they were the better side against, who was it? Put them at the Europa League qualifier. Playoff. I thought they were the better side against Hacken. They just couldn't finish their dinner.
Put it this way, I mean, if Rangers get beat tonight and finish at 3rd, Aberdeen finish 3rd.
See, that's why I think Aberdeen really fucked up by not getting into Europa League, because I don't think this group that Aberdeen in, I don't think that's far off a Europa League group. No. I think this group could have been a Europa League group and you wouldn't really bat an eyelid, right? You wouldn't really question it. And it's just the massive difference. Had they got into Europa League, finishing 3rd keeps you in Europe, but the pressure of going into Europa Conference League, you need a top 2 finish. They didn't get it, but I think the results were good enough for them on another occasion to finish top 2. Look, it didn't happen. It's been good. Barry Robson, fair play, thumbs up in Europe, but domestically he's been shite. And I believe the game on Sunday is absolutely fucking massive. If Barry Robson can win that game, I think the fans will be 100% behind him. And then if he can start climbing the league table, then fantastic. But if he loses that game, the fans are going to be on his back, and then he will literally have a couple more league games, in my opinion, to start winning consistently, or else he'll be gone. This is a great result tonight, but at the end of the day, it's a result that doesn't really mean anything. And unless he starts getting better results domestically, this result will be forgotten about quickly.
Absolutely, but if you look at the groups, right, I mean, I'd say Frankfurt are better than Betis. I'd say Sparta are a bit better than PAC. But when it comes to Helsinki and Aris, man,
there's not much in it.
Yeah, Aberdeen would take more than 1 point against Aris. I think they would. Because I think that's 2 of Rangers. Well, I don't think. I know it's 2 of Rangers' worst performances. I mean, it's a borderline all time.
Although what I would say is, I don't think Aberdeen would take 4 against Prague and take 3 against Betis, but
they beat Frankfurt. And they got unlucky against. It's if buts maybes, but I think Aberdeen have had the best campaign out of Scotland.
And there you go. Got TNT Sports just reminding us that Rangers lost the final against Frankfurt a few years ago.
That's the first time I've rewatched the winning penalty there. It's fucking soul destroying.
I might go and rewatch it now after this video ends. Anyway, just to wrap this up, any final thoughts?
Rangers are pish. I'm predicting 3-1 Betis.
And was I right when I said Aberdeen have had the best European campaign this season?
I just said that about 20 seconds ago.
So can you tell everybody that's in the comments, if they don't agree with me, they can go fuck themselves?
Yeah, there we go. Go fuck yourselves. Unless Rangers win the night, then I might change it. No.